Welcome to today's training. My name is Martin and I'm going to teach you fighting in all the ways possible, from self-defense to martial arts, not bound to a single style or system. We look at the overall mechanics of fighting, one technique at a time. Today we're going to do a knife fighting combination. So you need some kind of trainer you can use for this. It needs to have some length. Obviously a knife shape is the best. If you want, you can use a proper knife, but please only if you really know what you're doing and you're capable of handling it carefully. Other than that, some kind of stick also works to do the motions. The best thing I recommend is obviously a safe trainer so there can't be any injuries. Every time we do knife fighting, there's one word of caution that is important for me. While the knife has its place in fighting like every other weapon too, it has a very bad reputation. So training something like this always needs to be combined with good ethics. When is it appropriate to use and when not? So if you consider practicing more in this fashion, go inwards, check your ego, work on your de-escalation skills. That is always very important in tandem as well. Before we start working today's combination, as always, a check-in. How are you feeling today? Is there any injury you need to take into consideration? And your overall state of mind as well. And we're going to do a small mobilization exercise to check in and to get the body ready for today's workout. So you start with the right foot, some simple rotations. Then you switch the direction, so you rotate in both sides. And now the same thing with the left foot as well. Always both sides after a couple of repetitions. The same with the knees. Use this to check in, turn direction. How are you feeling today? Is there any motion you notice? Now with the hips, that is a bit more stiff than the other. Turn the directions. And from here stand still. Now just the shoulders left to right. Use it to turn your spine as far as you can. Perfect. The wrists. The other way around. That's what I noticed today, my left wrist. So go gently there. The elbows. Both directions, of course. Shoulders as well. The other way around. And last but not least, the neck. Look to the ground, look to the ceiling, up and down. And left to right. Awesome. Now, if you have not done already, get your trainer for today. We're going to start in the right hand, do the first motion for 10 times, then we're going to switch to the left hand, do the first motion for 10 times, and from there we build up the whole combination. So the base stance is the side where the weapon is leading. The weapon is aligned, elbow with the hips and the knees, the hand with the foot. I'm having a grip, the down 3 fingers are quite firm, the thumb and the index finger are a bit more loose to have the opportunity to rotate in my wrist, but I need to have some stability. That's the grip I like the most. The back foot is slightly angled, not 90 degrees, but like about 70s, and a bit offline from the front foot, and the hand is somewhere in a guarding position. This is like a fencing start. From here you could stab, slash into multiple directions. And the first attack we're going to do from here, going to start slightly elevated, is a backhand downward slash. So I'm going to start basically on the height of my left shoulder, going to pull down to the height of my right shoulder. At the same time, I'm going to rotate my hips, extend my arms and pull down. So it's like a teardrop shape. It starts tiny, goes out and ends up tiny again. So from here, extension through the face, back. This lower position, still the blade is pointed towards my opponent. From here, you can step, and this is going to be the start of today's combination. So, Right foot in front, the knife in front, left leg slightly elevated, left hand somewhere in the guard, rotate, rip down, into this lower position. We're going to do this for 10 times now. Up, slash, down in a fluent motion. Go dynamic, but stay in control of your motion. Watch your breath. Pay attention to what you're doing. 10 times. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Now we switch the whole thing to the left. Working the non-dominant hand with a tool feels so awkward in the beginning, but I recommend to go at it right from the start. So we're going to switch. Left leg is leading, left hand has the blade, same type of grip, same type of positioning, and we're going to do the same motion for 10 times. Be gentle with yourself. If it feels awkward, go slow, pay attention, and get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Switch back to the right, and we're going to add the second strike. Actually, we're going to do it singular first, and then we combine. So we have the slash, we end up in this down position. From here, we're extending into a step. So we have the right hand aligned with the right hip, and it's a bit lower. The blade starts pointing there. And from here, I'm going to rotate, drive my arm forward and upward, and I'm going to flip my wrist a little bit to gain more reach. You see here, I'm not hitting, but if I now extend, watch out that you're not over angling, but here is a straight line. So it can be the curve or a line, and it's this play in the wrist that gives some extra mobility. You can turn if you want. I most of the time stay straight. Is a bit of a style preference. While we're doing this, we're going to extend the front leg. So from here, drive it even deeper. The tactical application is I'm going to strike here. Maybe I hit, maybe I didn't, maybe you flinched back, and then I'm going to follow up. That's the baseline of the combination. But for now, we're just going to do this straight step to the face from this low ready position while extending the foot. You see that I'm aligning my wrist, my elbow, my shoulder with my hip, my knee and my foot, and I have a very small target towards you leaning into this. So it's extension of the stance, it's extension of the arm from a low line going high into a very long step, almost like a lunge. So I'm going to show you 3 times from each side, and then we're going to do it together. This from the front, you can see it from the right, and you can see it from the left. So 10 times, starting with the weapon in the right hand, right foot in front, extension, step, and then go back to the original position. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's switch to the left hand. Same starting position, same step, same extension step. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There are always so many details in these motions. Pick a few, work on them, pick another few, integrate. Next round, we're going to combine a attack 1 and attack 2. So we start from here, slash downwards, extend into the step. Slash downwards, extend into the step. Connectors are always important. I'm having the weapon to my left and high, slashing downwards to my low right and then extending into the step. It's like a backhand hammer fist into a straight jab. So watch the position of the blade. Here, not further. Here and then extend. It's a very fast combination. Down and straight. With the extension of the step. So, I'm going to start on the height of our own left shoulder, weapon presented, the blade and the point towards the front. Rotate, rip down to our right hip, extend into the step. 1 and then 2. We're going to do this for 10 times. Get into your ready position. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch to the other hand, of course. Left leg in front, left hand with the weapon in front. Slash downwards, extend to the step for 10 times. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. Next move. Single at first and then integrated. So we just did this very long step. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to rotate the blade and rip it out backwards. So if I'm facing you, step, rotate, and with the rotation I'm going to go to my left and pull back. From here, my wrist and my forearm are close to my body, but I'm going to follow up with another defensive attack. More on that later. So it's a follow up from the step, comes a rip back here. For now, I want you to end up in a very tight ready position. Ready always means the weapon is facing the opponent in some way. Could be from here, could be from here, could be from here, but I'm ready to do some kind of offensive maneuver. So we are extended already. Let's turn, rip outwards and end up here. You see again, it's like this teardrop shape, only that I'm stopping at the extension. So here's the point, I step, pull out, end up in my ready position. It's a bit like a Nike shape. You can imagine that really nice. The long shape and the small shape here. So we start extended, rip, and back. Now my body is turned towards you because I need the rotation, and from here could come back with any kind of motions. More on that in a second. So start extended, rip to ready position. From the sides, start extended, rip to the ready position. From this side as well, start here, rip to the ready position. You see that there's a whole body rotation. Rotating my body, coming backwards, and now pull back in so the weapon is facing towards my point. We're going to start with the arm already extended like we did the step and just pull back, ready position for 10 times. Right leg in front, we did the lunge, the arm is in the step position, turn and get back for 10 times. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Switch to the other side. Left leg in front, left arm extended after the step. So you're going to rip out and turn to your own right. Extend. Get ready for 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Obviously, next round is going to be to connect all those 3 motions. Then we have a 4th, final one, combine, and we're done for today. So we're going to start from here. Downward slash, ready position on the low. Extended step, rotate, rip, and same low ready position. Notice that my elbow is slightly back because I want my blade aligned with my hip. Yes, not pull back completely. I could also leave it here, but this works really nice with this ripping motion to go very low back. You can protect it with the second hand if you want, with some kind of grappling maneuver if it's necessary, just in addition for today. So, 3 steps. Start here, high ready, downward slash, step into the step, rip it out, low ready position. I'm going to show you the whole thing again. That's the combination for today. This is already quite complex. Bladed combat has a lot of finesse in the motions, so go slow. Pay attention to what you're doing. Be gentle with yourself if it's a bit gross motor. Practice takes time. And attention. So give yourself both. We want to start right foot in front, right hand has the weapon. It starts from high left slash to low right, extend the step, rip it out and turn to low right again. 10 times. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Switch to the left. Left foot in front. Left hand has the weapon. We start high right, slash to left low, step, extend, get out. 10 times. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and number 10. Perfect. Just one more addition and then we have the final combination of the day. We just came back from the step, the rip here. For now, we ended up in this low ready position. But if I'm gonna pull back from the step with this hip rotation, I'm gonna end up here in front of me. This position is not very nice. You see, the point is kind of away from you and the blade is fully away from my opponent. Also, my forearm is exposed, which gives a very nice target. That's why for now we pulled back to here. But there is an opportunity in there. Step, come back, and here. If I now turn my wrist and slash downwards, this is a really, really nice setup for counter strikes. Because maybe I go here. Maybe I miss because he makes me evade. I misjudge the distance. So I just pull back And now there's an option for here, an incoming attack, and then slash into that one. So it's a rotation, a downward slash, mostly aimed at the hands. So if there's an incoming strike, intercept it. See that I'm starting at the height of my left hip. I'm going to extend the hips, slash downward. Now I'm at the height of my face to my right hip and back here. So it's a full circle. And it's always leading with the blade. So I need to have some alignment here. My hips, and this position looks familiar, right? We just did the step from here. So step, come back, slash. And we end up basically in the same position, but we have this tiny rotation in between. And we're going to start from here. Like a low, ready. The blade is pointed kind of to the front. There's a bit of awkward position to start, but usually just for transition to another move. You pull your left hip back. So your right hand, your right hip is thrown outwards, and at the same time you do flick in the wrist. So it's this extension and the flick, and I'm cutting from the low left to the upper right, everything in between. It's a very gross motor strike with fine motor execution. That means I'm not truly aiming for something, I'm just slicing in the general vicinity. And you kind of see that everything that comes from here, whether it's this hand or the other hand, gets hit. Because it's a defensive counter strike, I'm protecting my way back. Here. So the step, the rotation, and coming back into the same position. I show you 3 more times from each side, then we do it 10 times together. Here, here, and here. Doesn't look like much, but there's a lot of finesse in there, and you need to have perception as well for knowing when to use it. Start on your low left hip, rotate the hip backwards, slash downwards, and end up in the low right because it just makes more sense. 10 times, get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Left side. Left foot in front. Left hand takes the blade. Low right hip. Rotate slash downward. End up on your low left hip. 10 times. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I can feel it. My left hand is more stiff than my right. There is a missing coordination and agility, but that's why we practice both hands. Not to be perfect with both, but to get better with full body and full mind. That's the way to master it. Now we finally have the whole combination. Right slash downwards, extended to the step to the face, pull back, and on the way back, defensive slash down. And you see it's attacking forward, forward, backward, backward. So it's striking on the way in, striking on the way out, like this. One more time slowly, and then we practice together. Starting on the high left, slash downward to your right, extend into a step, pull back to your left, and then this downward circling slash end up on your right. It's a complex motion, 4 steps, 4, with connectors for all of them, different angles, different steps. Be gentle with yourself. Pay attention to what you're doing. Do the 10 best repetitions you can deliver today. Right foot in front, right hand as the weapon, high left starting position. 10 times, deep breath. Get ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch to the left side, final challenge of today. Because for most of us, is the offhand. Obviously, there are some lefties there too. But for most people, this is the challenging one. Otherwise, you already did your challenging thing, good on you. Left foot in front, left hand as the weapon. We start on the high right, the whole combination, 10 times. Get ready. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, final 1, 10. Awesome. Put your trainer down. Come to a relaxed standing position. I'm going to close the practice today with 3 deep breaths. The first is to calm your body and your mind. This is not the most intense workout, but it's still physical. You want to get it right. You're moving your body, maybe you feel your heart rate, maybe you feel your breath, so calm down. The second is to integrate your knowledge with everything else you already know. This is not isolated, this is one piece of the puzzle. Remember the rest, connect it. And the third is to be grateful for yourself. You showed up today, you practiced, you learned something a little bit better every single day. So 3 deep breaths. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. We all get better together. I do these tutorials live every Friday, Central European Time, 6 p.m. on my YouTube and on my Instagram. You will find these workouts always on my Instagram. There are tons more, so go and practice every single day. Boxing, Thai boxing, kicking, blade, stick, everything we have to offer. If you're joining live, you can practice with me, and for everybody live in the stream, we always do an in-depth extra tutorial. Today is going to be about the stance and position of the blades, so some basic knowledge, but it helps quite a lot. For everybody that was here today, practice with me live on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Leave a like, leave a follow, that helps tremendously, or go to Patreon, find all the tutorials and everything else I have to offer, and you will learn quite a lot. In either case, thank you so much. See you on the next one. For today's tutorial, we already talked about the basic properties of the blade. So how to use these tools, not just understanding the tool, but combining and integrating it into the base tool we have, which is our body. So we need to understand stance positionings. And that is the fundamentals before talking about something like strikes or evasions and all of that stuff. So imagine boxing. Imagine you have a boxing beginner and the first thing you teach them is to throw a strike. No, the first thing you teach them is how to stand and where to hold their hands. Because if my stance is this and my guard is this, why should I learn to strike? It will not work. So I'm going to start from here, positioning, and now we can add strikes into the mix. And it's the same with weapon combat. People always get hyper-focused with tools because it's something external to grab and pay attention to, but you're still moving your body with the extension of a tool. And that takes lots of practice. So first, the grip. There are a couple of versions to grip. I recommend this one. 3 fingers down on the grip, tight to the low point, and thumb and index finger with more looseness so you have variation. You could obviously just grip with a fist, but it makes it more stiff. You could use a saber grip like this. It gives more fluidity, but your thumb is a bit more exposed. So I like this one. I learned it from the ACT guys as a very nice middle ground because you have stiffness, but flexibility, and you can move your wrist in a lot of different maneuvers. I recommend that either the point or the blade always goes towards the opponent. It not just gives me offensive capacities, because from here I can do all sorts of things. It also gives me defensive capability because there's something in the way. If you now move towards me and just fling it somehow, or even just leave it there, there's an option for you to injure yourself. If I do this, I actively have to do something, and my options are more limited because where I'm going to attack now, obviously from my left. If I'm doing something like this, it's going to be a different story because here I can switch angles better, but in a general sense, this fencer-like position is quite nice. You can load it up to your hips in some way. Here the blade is pointing forwards, here the point to your shoulders. Even something like this is still okay because I'm loaded up, but you have to watch out that you're not exposing too much arm. I like to play in the middle most of the time, so I'm somewhere here. Can be low on my hips, can be high on my shoulders up to my face, but the blade or the point to the opponent. One foot in front is very, very wise because I'm having a lot of reach. Here I'm hitting. If I now extend the positions of my feet, I'm not. This basically only makes sense if I want my offhand to create some distance. But if the other person has a tool as well, this becomes quite dangerous quite fast. This makes sense if I want to enter into clinch and do something from here. If the other guy is rushing me, I'm going to pull back. Or if I'm doing some maneuver of pulling and doing something from here. But that's all more advanced. And we're talking basic properties of positioning. So the foot with the weapon hand is in front and it's pointed towards the opponent. If you extend the line of the blade to the ground, my foot is in the same line. So here I can extend. The knee is over the foot. I have a straight upper body. Can be leaned lightly forward or lightly backward. Here's some play. The elbow is connected to the hip, but it can also be the hand that is connected to the rib because here I still have the weapon. In unarmed striking, this doesn't make sense. Keep it here so you have something to guard yourself with, but with the weapon I still have my main tool loaded to the front. So you can play with this. So we have the grip, we have the base position here, fencer-like, more connected with my right hip than with my left. Not turn away, but always turn towards the opponent. The back foot is in like a 70-degree angle here to the side. I'm turning hands down, as you can see a bit better. Weapon in the left. The right foot is not pointed 90 degrees, but like 70 degrees. So if this is 12 o'clock, it's like 2 o'clock, right? Because I want to have the opportunity to rotate my hips. It is very important for blocks, but also remember you still have a fist, right? And it gives me flexibility of movement as well. Watch out that your 2 feet are not crossing each other like this. Now I'm blocked. I'm going to show you from the side again. My right foot is on the same line as my left, so I'm going to get stuck here. It's no problem if I cross the line of my feet, because from here I can easily rotate into something else, like I was just mentioning, if I get rushed, for example. So there is some hip distance, but I want to be very angled. I call this a bladed position, not just because I have a blade. I could use this for fighting as well. I could use this with a stick as well, but because I'm blading my body away. So right foot, knee, hip, shoulder, elbow, hand, and blade to the front. The left is all slightly angled to the side. My whole upper body is angled too. Here I'm giving you quite the target, and if we're stabbing each other, I want to do that. So I'm angling up. My left hand is the back line defense. I can use it for blocking. I can use it for gripping and clinching if necessary, but this is mostly a backup, not the thing I want to primarily use because I have to. So it's this stance, and from here I want you to be comfortable in flowing the weapon and never losing position. Now I'm out of position. Now I'm out of position. You can do these things if you're a bit more advanced, because I can use it for faking and still be very fast, but it is dangerous. So I'd rather be here than here. Connectors and strikes pretty much always end up on these positions. So if you imagine a box as my hips up to my shoulders, within this box, even if I'm now angled, the weapon is moving and flowing. It's always full body motion. So I'm using my arms, I'm using my hips, my shoulders, maybe even my feet. If I don't do a step, if I don't do a turn, it's still biomechanically available. So I'm here just using my arm, but now I can extend my shoulder to get some more reach. So I'm here moving, I'm not hitting, so I'm extending my shoulder too. It's the same motion, and I can use the same idea with a step as well. It's all combined. So we have the grip, we have the feet position, the body position, the weapon position, and from here just get comfortable. Can you rest like this? If you're starting to get cramps within a few seconds, there is some misalignment. Gently, and then move from one thing to another. Wait a bit, get comfortable, start adding some steps, and then you have basic shadow fighting like here. It's not this which is most important, it's this which is most important. Because if you fuck up your positioning, your feet, spine alignment, hand positions, all the strikes in the work won't save you. Get good with the fundamentals, invest time in them, use it on the back, with the blade, with the fist, use it in sparring, but practice it slowly and controlled here. I didn't do a single step or a single strike, but I'm practicing my positioning, my alignments, my structures, and the same. And you can see how the bladed combat transfers to the unarmed combat is quite similar. But here's a lot of striking in there, which I can do in both varieties. That's it for today. Another basic one for the weaponry. We're going to go through them one at a time, and then we're going to start talking about strikes, tactics, maneuvers, blocks, and all of that stuff. Thank you so much for being here. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, see you in the next one.